Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is in good health and high spirits today. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Heni as Master of Ceremony for today. Welcome to the Educators Meetalk 26. Educators Meetalk is a forum provided for all educators from all over the world to share with each other regarding its certain topic. As we all know, technology has rapidly advanced in this era, with various technological innovation emerging in the market to support human tasks. This includes significant development in the field of education. However, ironically, instead of being used to enhance productivity, it is often applied in less appropriate ways. Driven by this concern, we will have a deep discussion about balancing innovation and ethics, the role of AI in classroom assessment. Then, thank you for all partners, Binus School Surabaya, SMA Lab School, Saya Mel, Saya Molek, that have supported Educator Meetalks 26. Before we start, I will share several rules for today's discussion. First, set the audio setting to be on mute mode during the speaker sharing. Then, how if we have already question that end in discussion forum. Nah, we next the second rules. Type your question on the chat room with this format. Our team also will share the format in the chat room box, so you can copy the format and just type your question. For example, I will type my question. Hi, Miss Intan. I'm Heini from Indonesia. And then my question, what is your perspective on the current use of AI in the classroom? Now we are fortunate to have with us speakers from diverse backgrounds who will share their insight on today's topic. Okay, our first speaker, Dr. Sansaya, and then Ms. Intan, and also we have Mr. Alex. This discussion will be led by our moderator, who has extensive experience in the field of education. She is Ms. Lisa Stephanie, the Chief Program Officer at Krya. For Ms. Lisa, time and room is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Henny. Hi, everyone. So my name is Lisa Stephanie, and I'll be the moderator for today. So to save the time for more discussion, so let's further ado with our first speakers of today. So we will see the next slides. We have Dr. Rachanikorn Chanchaya. So Dr. Chanchaya has extensive teaching experience at both undergraduate and graduate levels in various mathematics and mathematics courses. His research interests span both pure mathematics and mathematics education with publications in areas such as operator theory, spectral theory, fuzzy set theory, and mathematics teaching methodologies. He has authored book chapters on numbers theory, combinatorics, and probability for mathematics teacher education. So can we give a round of virtual applause to Dr. Chonchaya? And the time is yours, Dr.
Thank you so much, Lisa. สวัสดีครับ My name is Rachanikorn Chanchaya, and today I think I'm going to talk about the topic. Can you please show me the slides, presentation slides? Thank you. So the topic for today is AI in education, enhancing learning while preserving human touch. I just want to ask you to underline the word preserving human touch, because even AI is very, very effective. But you know what? It cannot replace the heart of the people. This is very important. That means even you can use AI for helping you doing everything, but it cannot replace human being at all. So don't worry, you're not going to lose the job. but AI can be your helper so well. And then the next slide, please. If we can imagine about what should be the dream classroom that it could be, right? Firstly, we could use AI for teaching in like evaluate the student, like set some question, and then the student can do the multiple choices, and you can ask AI for marking the script so quickly. Because normally when you have an examination like paper examination, tomorrow the student will ask, teacher, what is my score? What is my mark? Can you tell me the mark? I just want to see if I can pass or not. But it's not possible for us to mark so many scripts in one day, right? But AI could. So this is one of the best things that we should learn how to use AI for helping us. And then after we get the result of the student, AI could help us to think, this student is very good at this, but he might need some help for improving this bit. So from AI, we could try to improve the student one by one, which is very, very ideal actually, because to teach the student, like in Thailand, the classroom is about 30 to 40 students, which is quite a lot. It's not possible really to be like teach everyone in a different way. It's just so hard. And even we separate two group of the student, one is very good at math, another one is very poor at math. But if they are still in the same class, it's really hard, right, to teach. But for AI, we could try to make some tests, for example, and adaptive testing. Adaptive testing is just like a game. If they can pass the question or can do the question correctly, they will be sent to the next level, which is more challenging. Or if they could not pass, or they could just choose the wrong choice, they will be sent to the lower level of the question, which is very, very supportive for the student, because nobody just want to see, you're so poor in mathematics, but they just want to see, okay, according to your weakness, I can support you by the simpler question. So the student can be like, okay, I'm so comfortable to learn mathematics or any question, actually, any subject actually. Okay, so next slide, please. As I told you, AI cannot be replaced human being, because one thing that AI doesn't have, but we have, is heart. So how can we use our hearts to improve our classroom with the support of AI? Firstly, after we can get the result from the AI, we could try to make some change. For example, if the AI just judge the student like, this student, they got 10 marks out of 30, let's say, he's gonna be fail, right? But if you think, this guy, he tried a lot, and according to my experience, he's very, very poor, and he can push him up to be 10 out of 30. So he should not be failed. So we should support them something. You see, heart can link to the heart. And then actually education is not something about judgment. It's just something about teaching and improving ability of human, right? So AI could not understand this, but we are. And then after they just judge the student, this guy is good, this guy is not good. What we really know, what's going on during the process of learning. For example, the skill of communication. Some guy just working so well, but speaking nothing. So we can see that, oh, even he has a very high mark, but he still needs some support in communicative skill, right? So AI cannot replace people. I'm going to say this 1,000 times, so don't get bored with this. Okay, so the third one, instructional decision. So if we want to change something, AI can just support us by giving so many choices, and then we, human being, can choose the best one for our student, because AI doesn't know our student, but we know everyone. We know what they need. We know how can they learn. So why do we have to be scared of AI that it's going to be replace teacher? Never ever. The last one, complex skill evaluation. Remember, AI is just as how to say a technology that have been trained before, but they don't really know what does it mean by human being. So if you're a teacher, we notice everyone, right? We know that this student is good, so we have to add some creative task to ask them improve their own ability, or doing some activity like group activity to increasing the teamwork. I think it's going to be a lot better, and the student can be learn from the activity in the classroom. Okay, next slide, please. And this is the AI in mathematics classroom that we could use it for helping. For example, the student could use the AI for doing the tutorial class, their own tutorial class. Everyone have their own tutor, which is very, very good, right? If everyone have their own tutor and they can learn by themselves, because if they know how to learn, they know how to solve mathematics, and they accept that, oh, this question, I done it wrong. There will be resilience, which is nobody can teach. To be a resilient student, they have to fail, to be honest. But how can I support them to be fail but successful? So using AI is very, very good. It can be support the problem-solving skill as well. And also, if your question list is already run out, you can ask AI for creating a new one, which is we could make it like Olympiad math student, Olympiad math question for the student. It's also very good, right? And the student will be really impressed, like, oh, okay, the teacher is very good. He can provide everything for me. Next slide, please. One thing is such a good thing to show you is Khan Academy. I think nobody don't know about this website. It's very, very helpful and very famous in the world as well. So why do I have to mention this again? Because it can show the progress of the student, and also it is a kind of adaptive question. So as I told you before, if the student can do everything correctly, they're gonna be sent to the next level and they can improve their own ability. But if not, they will be sent it to the lower question. But it doesn't mean they're gonna be just like, oh, you are wrong or you're not good. They just need a chance to learn. So AI can give them a chance like this. And also the student just want to see, after I have done this, what's the feedback? So you can use AI in the right way, so we can be a great teacher. Okay, next slide, please. According to my dream, I just want to be a teacher, math teacher for every single age. I used to teach the kindergarten student as well. You know what? AI can help the student even in kindergarten because they can use their hands to match. Ah, okay, this is a circle. It's matched with a circle. This triangle matched with this. They use their finger and improve their movement. They learn and they build their own muscle. So even kindergarten students can use AI for helping them to develop their own muscle. And not just only kindergarten, primary school student or secondary school student, they also learn a lot and they have so many choices to improve. So can you please go to the next slide, please? Yeah. Talk about the primary school education. We can ask them to do some task. We can create something creatively. We just try to find a good prompt and then ask them to do the creation. Draw some picture and ask them to create something from their own thing. But remember, if we ask them to do something, don't judge. Don't say, oh, you get 1 from 10 marks. Just say yes, and then ask them how to improve it. Because giving a mark is one of the best way to cue the students. For example, for me, I'm not good at art. When I draw some picture and I submit to my teacher, I was really scaring. My hand was shaking and think, oh, how much score that I'm gonna get? Sometimes I get 2 out of 10. And I was thinking like, what? I spent 2 hours for this. It's really killing. So if you want to support your student, just not judge. Okay, so next slide, please. For AI in secondary school education, you can use even more because the student have to think more and they have to do some presentation. They have to browse the internet for getting some information to support them to get some skill like critical thinking skill. Next slide, please. So even AI is very, very important for teaching, but remember, AI should not replace human interaction. This is very, very important. And we have to think about every single data that we put in the AI. It's not gonna be private anymore. It's gonna be used later. So this is very, very the important thing that you have to concern. Okay. And if the student just keep watching at the AI, they will lose something, for example, communication skill or social skills. So be careful, don't use it too much. Next slide, please. Yes, as I told you, just use it as an assistant. It can make us feel really, really happy for reducing the time. For example, for this slide, to be honest, it is AI generated. I have already prepared so many information for this talk, and then just put some information inside the website and it generates to be just only 8 to 10 slides, which is very, very useful for me. It can be finished in 2 minutes. Oh, I can do like sipping coffee and then the slide is finished, you see. And even the data analysis, something easy, we can ask AI to do that. Or I think we don't have to believe everything about AI. Even my friend who works in data science, they said, if he can work by himself, he's gonna do that because he believes in human brain, actually. Okay, the last one. The next one, please. So be careful. If we depend on AI too much, we're gonna lose so many things. But remember, we are human. We should be able to judge what we're gonna teach. We just prepare our lesson and then ask the AI for the creation or the creativity should be fine. And make sure that you have enough communication with your student. Don't allow AI to talk to your student at all time. Okay, so next slide, please. Yes, for this, if you want to encourage the student to think critically, so you have to ask the student to ask and to use AI as an information source. Very important, because for being a good critical thinker, they need a lot of information, and train them, encourage them to ask more, ask the AI, ask what they want to know, and then they're gonna be absorbed. Oh, okay, how to ask. They will know how to ask, and then they can go further. And after that, they will learn the problem-solving skills later. Okay, the last slide, really last slide, I think. Yeah. So apart from critical thinking, we could ask the student to do some tasks and develop so many things like creativity, reasoning skills, or decision making from AI. So if we are human, we are not going to lose the job, and we are going to use AI as best as possible. I believe that everyone know how to improve your own classroom right now, right? So thank you for your attention. I finished already. Thank you for the talk. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Chanchaya, for the sharing. So I took note here a bit here. So yeah, from Dr. Chanchaya's sharing just now, so there is an important lines here, like AI is an assistant, not a replacement. So although AI helps us a lot, especially for us educators, but AI still cannot replace the heart of human beings. So don't worry, you just need to be more creative, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the sharing.
Yes.
And we will keep the question later during the Q&A time. So now we will move on to our second speaker for today. We have Miss Intan Siti Nugraha. She is the Vice Principal for Curriculum and Head of the International Program at SMA Lab School UPI Cibiru. It is one of the school model for CMEO CMOLEC for AI application in learning. With extensive experience as an English teacher in senior high school, she is a dedicated education and language practitioner as well as a researcher. She is specialized in language education with a strong focus on integrating AI and technology into language learning. She is also passionate about linguistic corpus and their application in education. Outside her professional career, she enjoys writing and running her own business, combining her love for education with entrepreneurial pursuits. So let's welcome Miss Intan. Hi, Miss Intan.
Hi,
And
Miss Lisa. Hello,
and the
everyone.
yes. So and the stage is yours, Miss Intan.
Okay, thank you for inviting me, Krya Education, to this meeting, Meetalk, 20 seconds at usual. Yeah, as has been introduced by Miss Lisa, I actually teacher. It's I also am passionate in research, doing research. I'm interested into AI and has been asked to join the research by Simulec, developed by Simulec, an AI tool developed by Simulec. Hopefully, it will give us such just a little bit insight for us. It's only sharing, okay? Let me share the screen here. Okay. Let's talk about artificial intelligence in school. Yeah, especially in English as foreign language. Yeah, because I'm teaching English in my class, and English in Indonesia is still a foreign language. Yeah. Here, it has been explained actually by the previous speaker, like artificial intelligence is a kind of use of computer system to stimulate the mental processes. It's the product of technology that kind of imitate human behavior, such as understanding, reasoning, and then thinking, and even decision making. Yeah, and here let's talk about the artificial intelligence used in the school. The types of artificial intelligence might vary. It can be chatbots, virtual reality, or augmented reality. Yeah, that can be used by the students, okay, for learning process, and then the learning management system. This kind of LMS is actually widely used by schools, yeah, especially after the pandemic COVID. And then there is also speech recognition tools, yeah, for transcribing the video or audios. And artificial intelligence also used by teachers. Yeah, they use AI to run administrative automation. Yeah, it really helps. It helps teachers, especially preparing administration. Yeah, it takes it time consuming and very tedious things to do for teachers. And the existence of AI really help teacher to do the automation administrative. And then the second one, AI also used by the teacher for grading. Yeah, in AI assists teacher in assessment. Yeah, not only preparing administrative, but grading, checking students' words. Those are the things that is most tedious job of teachers. Yeah, and the existence of AI helps to reduce the time consumption of doing those two things. Yeah, and the teacher can focus on spending time interacting with students. Yeah. The third, AI is helpful for teachers in terms of providing teaching aids. Yeah, by AI, teachers are helped to create the aids such as presentation or maybe the flashcards or the tools, learning materials for teaching in the more interactive and eye-catching, engaging materials. Yeah, so teacher have a lot of sources and have a place to explore their creativities in creating teaching materials and teaching tools. Yeah. And also text editor. It also helps teacher in terms of tracking the essays. Yeah. And so how can we use AI in the context of English as foreign language learning? Okay, actually, some of the functions, the reach of, the numerous function of AI into four, especially in English teaching. Yeah, the first, it assists conversation practice as well as listening and speaking practice for students. Yeah, it can make students engage in the conversational exchange with language model tools, yeah, and get instant pronunciation feedback. My personal experience teaching a big class for teaching speaking especially, yeah, it really takes time, and sometimes even 2, 3, or 4 hours learning is not enough to check one by one of students speaking. Yeah, so by the existence of AI, the assisting from AI, it's really helpful. They can do it personally. Yeah, so it's kind of like helped by the assistance, the AI itself that is on their hand, on students' hand. And the second one is vocabulary development. Yeah, sure, more than just dictionary, the conventional dictionary. I mean, yeah, AI will provide the words in more various contexts. Yeah, and it's also offers explanation definitions. Yeah, to use how some words are used, okay, in the context, and they can specify what they mean with their own personal needs of that vocabularies. Yeah. And the third is AI can be used in practicing writing. Students are helpful by the assistance of AI. Yeah, they can improve their writing skill, okay, and assisted by the AI. Okay, just writing the prompts and then AI will give feedbacks, yeah, to the students. Because as well as speaking practice, which is very hard to yeah, very time consuming to track, writing also, yeah, time consuming. Yeah, we have to read all those writings, the students writing one by one, then write feedbacks. But the feedback sometimes is delayed because we also have a lot of things to do, not only grading students, not only reading their work, right? Okay, and then the last, AI can be used as the primary instruction. Yeah, language model tools can provide explanation of grammar rules and exemplify the correct usage from their writing, for example, and they can revise their work, and also they can also understand. They also can be given the grammar correction on their writing. It really helps teacher and students. Okay, next, let's focus on AI in assessment. AI can assist in designing assessment and developing automatic scores, and also evaluate participants' answer quickly and accurately in the real-time feedback. Okay, that thing is, yeah, providing the instant or real-time feedback sometimes become the challenge for teachers. Yeah, due to the numbers of students, yeah, in the classroom. So let's see the benefits of using AI in the assessment. Yeah. Firstly, assessing student work using AI can make it more objective. Yeah, AI reduce bias and subjectivity of teacher in assessing and grading. Sometimes teacher personally have their own prior judgment of student, okay, and it actually will influence the process of grading, okay, or even the mood of teacher itself, and they are tired and they have to check students' work. Sometimes it will influence the grading and the assessment. The second benefit of using AI in assessment by teacher is the efficiency. It has been mentioned in the beginning that the most tedious and time-consuming work of teacher is checking or assess student works. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that when we put all of the effort for checking and assess student works, it will impact the good things to student. Sometimes, because of a lot of effort and focus of teacher checking student works, it will give the delay feedback to student. Yeah, and maybe students have been forgotten about their work, and oh, did I make it? Yeah, it's not contextual anymore. The feedback given by teachers, students sometimes are not connected to the real-time performance of students. Is one of the benefits from using AI in the assessment. Yeah, it's reduced grading time and effort for teacher. So teacher will can focus on spending their time interacting with students, and it's more essential in learning teaching, in my opinion. Yeah, AI will generate real-time feedback for students, so they can make immediate improvement at that time. Okay, it really help teachers in assessment. And the third point, the third benefit of using AI in assessment is the consistency. The consistency of assessment result. AI reduce human errors. Yeah, the teachers miss accuracy, maybe because the lack of teachers' proficiency on that particular exercise, for example. Yeah, and the students' work also, when are being checked by different teachers, will have different results. Yeah, especially in learning language. Yeah, sometimes when we talk about literature, yeah, it will really reduce the consistency. And then the third is the analytical ability. AI perform a detailed analysis of the assessment. Yeah, it will give more personalized results of students, whether the strength or the weakness. Okay, next. The issue of using AI in classroom actually have been discussed by the previous speaker. Thank you. Yeah, it's about lack of information and the discrimination due to sometimes the result given by AI discriminates some groups of society, and sometimes it make the student insecure. Yeah, and then the reliance on technology here, because of the dependency on technology, sometimes students and teacher are not used to critical thinking. Yeah, and then digital gap. Sure, not all students have equal access on technology and has the same gadget, which can access AI. Yeah, it will left some students behind. So here are the how to use AI in EFL classroom. I have some suggestions here. It can be used for understanding complex tasks by students. Okay, if we give a complex task to students and then while waiting for them or repeating the instruction to them, we can ask them to use Google Lens and then try to understand it, okay, and translate. Or yeah, and then second one, we also can let students to interact with ChatGPT or AI text generator, yeah, just to make sure they have already got information about the topic they are going to talk, and then after interacting with ChatGPT or AI text generator, let them talk to us, so they have already had prior knowledge about the topic they are being used. Here, AI Gemini. Gemini is one of AI tool that can help students to do role playing. Yeah, they can type down the story and then ask the AI to be their partner of role playing and pretend to be the one of the character, and it's really helpful. Okay, or maybe you can use AI Pictionary. Yeah, just decide the famous picture, for example, Mona Lisa, okay, and let them to describe Mona Lisa, type it down, and the AI Pictionary will create, yeah, a picture based on the student's description, and it's really fun for them. Yeah, that's all. Maybe this is the example of how I use Gemini to students. Yeah, they practice role playing. Yes. Thank you for listening. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Intan, for the sharing from your experience. It's really nice to share good practice of using AI in the classroom. And from your sharing just now, I can take one important line here, that AI can assist in designing assessment, developing automatic scores, and evaluate participants' answer quickly and accurately. So hopefully later on we can discuss more about this one during the Q&A time. Thank you. And now let's move on to our last but not least, the third speaker for today, Mr. Alexander Trespa Nenes from Binus School, Surabaya, and he's a passionate educator and an advocate for providing students with a learning environment augmented by accessible and emerging technologies, which allow for creativity through the diversified and differentiated instructional practices. So, hi, Mr. Alex.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Lisa and Krya team for the opportunity to share this morning. AI is definitely a hot topic in education these days. So without any further ado, with your permission, I will share my screen, and following on what my peers have said, Mr. Kmut and Ms. Intan. So I have been an educator for 27 years. That gives me not a unique, because many educators are around my age and we are still in the field, but I've seen the progress of technology to the moment of getting to AI, which we have now. When I was a child, just to illustrate, what we're doing now was only possible in scientific fiction movies, to have an online conference, to have a meeting where we can connect virtually, simultaneously. And now reflecting on the AI, one of my biggest points is the ethical use of AI. AI is here to stay, the speakers before me have already highlighted the importance. Yes, we're not going to lose our jobs, and the AI is not going to replace us. What I believe that happens and will happen is adaptation. We are in the age of fast-paced connections. And going back to when I started my career in education 27 years ago, we didn't have computers in the classroom. It was not even imaginable to have devices. So everything was pen and paper. And the skills needed to succeed as a student, to succeed as a professional were very different. So exams, tests were much more relying on memorization, textbooks. We would have a couple textbooks to provide us information and knowledge. Now the knowledge is in our hands. In this image, you see the teacher and the students all with devices in their hands. So if we want to know when Surabaya was founded, or how Indonesia became independent, or we want to know more about Southeast Asian history, the Vietnam War, or anything that is factual, it is available at our fingertips in real time. What we need nowadays is the enhancement of the learning. And as our population grows, it has doubled from 3 billion to more than doubled to 7 billion. And in less than 30 years, we are projected to reach 10 billion people in our planet. We need more access to tools that accelerate processes and enhancement of the education, keeping it personalized. It has never been so highlighted in education and other fields, the role of well-being and how we are unique individuals. So the automation of tasks, those repetitive tasks, can be easily automated. Ms. Intan mentioned that, Park Moot also said that, that we can transform education by optimizing and making a few of our tasks, like correction, generation of statistical numbers, very quickly, very effective. Another thing that I truly believe is in the balance. Everything that is too much is not beneficial. If you drink too much water, it's not that healthy, even though drinking water is healthy. So too much AI, too much exposure, too much screen time will deprive our children and us educators from lots of opportunities that are still human touch. So in the classroom as an educator, and for me as a school administrator, I always focus on the balance and how any technology, any emerging technology. So I was out there participating in the 2007, 2008, when the first tablets were launched, how to bring tablets to the classroom. In 2003, 2004, how to bring laptops to the classroom, or how to effectively work in an IT lab with desktops in 1997. So all these things have been innovating education, empowering the students, and preparing our students to be future ready. The role of the educator, more than anything, is to get the kids ready for their next step, from middle school to high school, from high school to university, from university to the professional world. And we need to look into privacy, safety. Now, digital safety, our digital footprint is very important. A person could get a job or lose a job because of our digital footprint. So the ethical use of not only AI, but any technological tool and our presence on social media is very crucial. So ethics goes beyond the AI only, but let's keep it in the educational field. So the AI has a dual promise in education. The first one is to bring powerful tools and personalized learning. Yes, it's impossible if I have 100 students during my 28, 29, 30 lessons per week, teaching those 100 students, how am I going to differentiate? How am I going to make the learning as personalized as possible? Because the students have different learning styles. The students have different ways. Some students are visual, some students are kinesthetic, some students, they learn by listening, other students must do touch to learn. How am I going to do that when we have an education system where we teach students in groups? We put them together in groups of 25, 30 students in a classroom at the same time and teach them. That's where I believe the promise of AI in education can be powerful to give this personalization, the data that takes so much time to produce. Now, we educators will take the time to analyze the data because the data can be generated in a couple of minutes. The second are the ethical considerations. When we use AI, you will notice for the pattern of my images. I used AI to produce the slides when I was preparing this presentation. The content is mine, the text is mine. So from an ethical point of view, these images were generated based on my request to the AI image generator from ChatGPT, because there are no images just like that out there. There may be some images similar generated by another person who has a similar prompt, but these images are very unique. So that gives me the comfort to have a presentation where I'm not violating any copyright, or I don't need to ask permission to use images that I would find usually on Google or on a search. Then those are the ethical considerations. Privacy. How can we keep student data private? How can we be fair in terms of assessment? It's not a one-size-fits-all education anymore. That's where AI can help us. Now, critical thinking and AI. AI cannot think critically. AI will respond to your prompt, to what you ask them to do. So one of the greatest tools educators and students need to develop to benefit from AI is to have better prompts. In the past, how to do a proper Google search? By having a detailed, there were even courses back in the day when Google was recently launched, how to take the best out of Google. Now we are looking into how to express ourselves and take the best out of AI from the prompt. I have been trying, by the way, to get an avatar for myself, and for a couple of months I have not yet been able to come up with the prompt in a way that the avatar really looks like me. So just to give you a simple example. And this is critical thinking. So I need to go back. I cannot just put one of my pictures, say, hey, create an avatar. So then create an avatar there where I am wearing round glasses with golden frames. Sometimes my hair comes out curly or a different color. Then my prompt needs to be aligned. So I need to think critically on that. So if you look from a side of educators, we need to encourage our students to also look into what AI is giving them and see if the results are factually correct, if everything is accurate. And also, in terms of educators, the design of activities is important. So we can design activities where students can have the technology in their hands, but also use reasoning, use critical thinking, use their own ways to express, even to challenge what is being given to them from the technology. So it's not just a copy and paste from whatever is given. What if that doesn't fit the context of the activity, the context of what they're doing in class? For students, again, question. Do not just accept, oh, this is true now. Is it really true? Can I double check this information? So the other day I was asking ChatGPT to help create a profile for me for another forum. And the factual information was not very correct. Some of the data regarding myself, some of the data regarding Business School where I work was not completely accurate. So the text was elegantly written, but I had to go back. And so that's what I encourage students, I encourage teachers in my team to do. Have your students to look carefully into what the AI is giving them. Another one, discussion, human touch. Go back and do discussion in the class. Make sure you are not just sitting there in your laptop and the students are there. So you see that the images that I selected here when I created, I asked. So there is a teacher and the students have not their laptops now or their devices, but they are looking at each other or paying attention to what the teacher is discussing with them. And in the other one, the students are looking with some sort of how is this going to be used, or is this really true? The artificial intelligence is making learning interactive. We are in the age of information. We are in the age, we are in the future. You know, the present now is what the future looked like very short time ago. So just to give an example, August 28th is when one of the robots from the movie Terminator would come to life. And that movie was produced in the 1990s. So yes, we are living in the future and we have access to information, access to solutions at our fingertips. I will present, following the rationale of the presenters before me, a few tools that can be successfully used in education. So what is out there? I like the new concepts for several applications in the classroom. My background is English and American literature, as well as humanities or social studies. So when it comes to how to use AI responsibly and sensibly, there are some tools that I really like. Socrative, it is a tool driven to create quizzes, discussions, receive feedback, and it is very good for seminars. I think my time is almost done. Bear with me for a couple more minutes. So Socrative is a very good tool for educators to promote discussions. Quizlet is there for quizzes. So, and Quizlet is very good for that part of the learning that activates the memory and the information-based learning, the knowledge-based of the learning, because you can add your content. The Quizlet will generate quizzes very fast based on what you ask the AI to create. Then you submit it to the students, you make it available, and you start having feedback on real time. You can even have statistics on which questions the students responded correctly. So when it comes to the knowledge, it could give teachers a very fast insight. Oh, question 5 was about Indonesian history. So students are not very good into Indonesian history, or it was about a topic in science, maybe enzymes. So probably as a teacher, the 2 questions about enzymes were not very correct. Many students didn't take it right. We should go back and teach this again. So that's a good feature when we come to creating quizzes and fast results to do data-driven decisions in terms of our teaching and learning. Google Classroom is becoming very interactive. It's a very powerful tool. Many schools in Asia now are embracing the Google Classroom and the Google platform, or the Microsoft platform. Those are the 2 major areas, and they provide a lot for education. Recently, and I believe this is during and post-pandemic, many features have been added to the Google Classroom, making it very powerful. If you use Google Classroom in your organization, it's worth exploring the AI integration and the add-ons that Google provides. Microsoft 365 has now what they call the Copilot, which is a very powerful tool. You can ask Copilot to create a quiz for your students, or you can analyze the results of a quiz. It can help you generate PPT presentations from scratch, can help you prepare a text. So for educators, school administrators, the AI can make our job very more effective. Instead of having the principal and the coordinators spending hours and hours revising documents or looking into policies, the AI can come and help with those texts, proofread, make sure the text is coherent, is appropriate. Then instead of writing the text, we go on the function of revising and approving the text. So those other hours we would spend creating the text will be spent in collaborative meetings, classroom observations, building relationships with the parents and the students, walking around the campus. So that can give us the possibility to be more available by effectively using the tools that we have. Dreambox is a cool feature for adapting math learning. So the students can solve math problems. I think it's a more child look version of Khan Academy, which I'm a fan of, not only for math, but for other subjects. Khan Academy is becoming more effective and building on its platform every year. So if you look at Dreambox, it's a very good tool for math for younger kids. And then Grammarly. Grammarly is an add-on that we can have in Google Word, not Google Word, it's I don't remember the name, the Google Docs. And it can help us correct our grammar, suggest if a word is not appropriately written. So it can make, for many of us, I am a Brazilian, an Italian born in Brazil, so I'm by any means, I'm not a native speaker of English. I learned English in school, then I lived in countries where English was the first language, and I have been overseas where English is the medium of delivery in the schools I work at since 2007. But even in my mother tongue, we need to be careful with the writing, especially when it's professional writing. So Grammarly is one example of a very useful tool to help us with our accuracy in our writing. And it's good for students. So is it unethical? No, because when we do academic work in high school or even in the university, there was the role of a proofreader. Now, instead of using another human to proofread, we can use AI tools and we can use technological tools. And is this unethical? No, I would say unethical is for me to ask Miss Lisa to write my research paper. But if I write the paper, Miss Lisa proofreads and say, Alex, your grammar here is not very good. Here I corrected a few of your mistakes. Some wording was not appropriate. And that's what the AI tools are doing now. So they are giving us this function, and of course, they do it much, much faster than we human beings would be doing that. That's it from me, and I hope I have contributed with a little bit of my knowledge and experience. Thank you all for your very kind attention and time. And if any questions, please, I'll be happy to address them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Alex, for the sharing. And one line from his sharing, I can choose here. It is said that it's vital to balance AI's benefit with ethical concerns like privacy. Okay, so yeah, it's coming with two sides, pros and cons for AI. So that's why we have all of our speakers here to discuss more about it. And yeah, we're ready to start with our Q&A time. And we have 5 questions already. We got them from the participants. So when they registered in this event, so they already key in the questions, and then we choose 5 of them. And the first question will be here from Miss Sukarmi, I guess, from SMPN2 Sambas. And the question is, how can assessments be effectively conducted in the classroom using AI while still considering the importance of human intervention? So I open the floor for our speakers if you want to share about these questions, trying to answer the questions from Ms. Sukarmi. Maybe I'll try to over Ms. Intan to share.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so how can assessment be effectively conducted in the classroom using AI while still considering the importance of human intervention? Yeah, it's a must. Human intervention is a must. We cannot depend fully to the AI. No matter how busy we are, no matter how trust we are to AI tools, yeah, because of our experience, for example, that when checking some students, or maybe we try the AI tools and then we see that, oh, that's perfectly meet what I want in assessing, and then we copy paste it. No, it's not allowed. As a teacher, we are the main role in the teaching, in the learning, yeah, in the teaching and learning process. Yeah, AI is only the aids to assist us. For example, let's give a case. We are we are assessing students' writing, right? And then we use Redmi tools, okay? And then just there will be feedback from AI. The feedback or the assessment result given by AI is only for the preliminary glance of the point or the assessment of that student. Again, just like what Mr. Alex said, okay, we have to recheck or critically think again about the result. Okay, it's only for giving us the objective overview or preview of the student's work. Yeah, just so again, the decision making of grading, yeah, it's on teacher's hand. It's only tools assisting us. So AI will not take the roles of teachers in assessing, since it's only teachers who knows, yeah, maybe some aspects that have not been written in the student's work, but we know it. For example, oh yeah, we see how effort that the student do the work, and then you see that, and then the students has already just missed. We know that the students are careless and so on and so forth. There are a lot of aspects, yeah, that only honored by the teachers. Yeah, sometimes also, yeah, the feedback given by AI, the instant feedback given by AI to the students, does not consider the students' emotion. But the teacher, we see that, whether the students are not fit doing it, okay? So they're not ignored, their emotion are not ignored by the teacher, but it might happen by AI, but for teachers, not. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Intan. Hopefully that answers the question from Miss Sukarami. Okay, thank you for asking the question. And we will move to question number 2. I guess this one will be given to Dr. Chonjaya. Hopefully you can help Muhammad Tafwa answering this question. So how do we implement AI in mathematics class? And can you give a real example of the implementation?
Thank you for the question. Actually, for doing the math assessment, there are 2 parts that you have to concern. One is knowledge. For assessing the knowledge is easier, I think. You could do some multiple choices to check whether the student can solve the problem or could be able to understand something like computation or some procedure thing or not. If they can they can choose the right choice, that means they might be able to understand that. But okay, let's skip the knowledge and then talk about the skill. We cannot use the multiple choices or even fill some word in the blank to measure if they have the communication skill or problem solving skill or not. They have to write the whole solution of the question of this. Yeah. So that means we have to care about how they deliver. And of course, AI cannot do that. We have to show the role of teacher. We have to be like, okay, I'm gonna help you to support. I mean, help the to help the student to support them, how they could make it better. As I told you, even we are going to judge our student, but we are going to say, oh, this one is wrong, this one is bad. We are going to say that, oh, it could be better if you could add this information. It could be better if you write this formula. So it's gonna be practical actually if you want to use AI and use the role of teacher together in the assessment classroom.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Chonjaya and Muhammad Akwa is here with us. Hopefully it helps you from Dr. Chonjaya's explanation. Okay, now we move on to question number 3. We have from Wahyu Purwaningsi from Save the Children, and I'd like to invite Mr. Alex to help with these questions. And the question is how far we can implement AI in learning process, especially for children.
Well, my standings is always this: children come first. The reason schools exist is because there are children there to be educated. If you remove the children from the school, there's no reason for a school to exist. So how far we can implement AI? As far as the child benefits. Are we implementing AI to speed processes so we can give more attention to the children? Are we implementing AI in ways that will make the analysis of the needs of each child faster and more effective. So data gathering and analysis of data is very complex, and education is more and more leaning towards data-driven decisions. They're not what I think or what I feel. It is based on my observation. So in the way I compile that data, I can go to my team and suggest or brainstorm solutions. So the AI, as long as the child is still first or at the center of the process, the use of AI is limitless. Just remember, don't forget the main focus of the educational process, the child.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alex, for the explanation, and hopefully it answers the question. Yes, so Ms. Wahyu is here with us. Thank you for the reaction, live reaction. So now we're coming on to the next question. We still have two more questions. The first one, question number 4, we have from Miss Eko from Surabaya Montessori School. How do we utilize AI to enhance our teaching learning without leaving our authenticity? So I'd like to invite Miss Intan to share your thought about this question.
Yeah. So it concerns on the authenticity, yeah. Utilizing AI in teaching learning without leaving our authenticity. Yeah, it actually the problem, or maybe the issue, that the biggest issue faced by the educators as well as the students. Also, the students, yeah, most of the students use AI in the instant way without using it to assist them in think critically. Okay, so because of the data, maybe a lot of data is compiled in the AI tools. Yeah, it is difficult for teachers to identify, let's say, the plagiarism. Okay, whether the students use AI or not. Okay, so that is the role of teachers. Okay, emphasizing to the students that AI is only the tool for them to enhancing their learning capacity, not the main goal, or not giving up their brain to the AI itself. So there is no learning at all. They there are not learning experience at all by students. So here, the role of the teachers is just to give the value, and okay, teach them about the importance of learning. Okay, meeting the goal of learning, tell them and guide them in the correct learning process. Okay, so we have to the role of teachers is guiding them using AI correctly, truthfully. They have to be responsible with the tools they use, and that role will not be replaced by AI. So that's the biggest part of teacher, okay? Teaching them to have integration in learning process. Don't put them, don't press them much on grades, yeah, because grade is nothing if they actually cannot do or cannot meet the learning goal. Yeah, So the teacher should monitor the learning process, okay? Guide them to use AI with integrity, okay? Correctly, truthfully. Then besides, don't let them using AI, not let them to depend on AI. Yeah, sometimes that's why we need, that's why we need intervention to the learning. Okay, don't depend too much on AI, just to make sure that they not believe 100% to AI. Okay, yeah. Just make sure we have taken our roles as teachers. Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you so much, Ms. Intan. Yeah, as teachers, as educator, we need to set up our roles first, make it affirm so that it won't be a problem for us. Okay, thank you. Now, the last question we have chosen from the participants' questions. We have the next question is from Miss Chitra. I saw she's also here. So this question is about how to optimize AI facilities in the learning process while still improving students' critical thinking. Okay, maybe my Dr. Chonchaya would love to share a bit about this question.
Okay, thank you for the question. To develop the students' critical thinking, so we have to think about how to encourage them to use the information in front of them to kind of use for the decision, right? So basically, we have to ask them to use the information that they can gain from the AI or from the search engine like Google, collect them as much as they can. And after that, they have to try to find a way to solve the problem. They could try to think about the question that they could put into the prompt or put to ask the AI at some point. And then if they know how to ask, they will clear what they need. And then they will know how to decide. And that's the way naturally to teach them how to have the critical thinking skills. So basically, ask them to search, and then ask them to ask the AI, and then ask them to decide. These 3 steps can help you a lot. I think it could help you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Chonchaya, for answering the question from Miss Chitra. Okay, so I guess all the questions has been discussed. And to sum up now from all of the speakers sharing and our discussion through the questions. So with the theme of today's webinar, Balancing Innovation and Ethics, the role of AI in classroom assessment, we also learned that teacher also need to set up the role in the class so that it will be easier to optimize using AI in the classroom and make it balance between the innovation and the ethical sides. Okay, thank you so much for having me as the moderator. And also thank you so much to all of our speakers. Now I pass the session again to Miss Henny. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Lisa. Also, thank you for the inspiring session from all speakers, Mr. Sonsaya, Ms. Intan, and also Mr. Alex. And thank you to all participants for the active participation. Maybe before we officially end our session, we can take some photo together. Java, you can help us to take the photo. Okay. I have 3 pages in my computer. I will do the countdown. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, next slide. 3, 2, 1. And then the last slide. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, one more before we end our session. We have feedback form. Okay, to our future improvement, please help us to fill the feedback form. You can click the link below or just scan the barcode in the screen. After you submit the feedback form, then you will get the certificate automatically. Okay, we would like to say thanks again to all speakers and participants for your active participation, and also thank you for all partners and collaborators that have supported this discussion. Hopefully, this session will be beneficial for everybody. We really hope to see you again in Educator Meetalk 27. Thank you.